Hey guys, so welcome back to Battlefront Updates. Today I wanted to talk about a very important topic. What can we actually expect from DICE's new Star Wars Battlefront? What I mean with this is that the game is very hyped up and there are so many expectations on the game from us old fans and also from Star Wars and Battlefield fans in general. And there's a lot of people saying stuff like, if Clone Wars isn't in the game, I won't buy it. If there's no heroes and villains, I won't buy it. Don't get me wrong, I want all of this to be in the new game. Everything from the old games plus more. Except for them both in Spice maybe. But I've made so many videos talking about all the stuff we want in the upcoming game, and I just felt that I really need to make a completely honest video where I talk about what we can actually expect to see in the game, or at least what I think we might see in the game. Because it is important for us to understand that it's 10 years since the old game came out, and we need to realize that not everything from the old games will be in the new Star Wars Battlefront, and we need to be prepared for that. I know I am prepared for that, because I'd rather be pessimistic and be happily surprised by the new game than have these massive expectations on thousands of features, maps, game modes and all that kind of stuff and then be disappointed when the game is actually out. First of all, I honestly don't think we will see Clone Wars in the game. They have shown no sign whatsoever of the Clone Wars era, and even when they tweet random pictures from their office or things like that, it's always stuff from the original trilogy. I mean, they could be holding it off as a surprise to be announced in the spring, but to be honest, don't expect it in the upcoming game because it will most likely not be there. And I don't think it will be released as a DLC, as some people say it's too big to be put in a DLC. I think it will either be in another Battlefront game, this Battlefront game, or not in any of them at all. Secondly, and this is something I'm dreading to say, but I do not personally think that heroes and villains will be in the upcoming game. I'm not really sure why, but I just don't think DICE will implement it, as force powers is something that takes quite an effort to implement. Both me and Robbie from Star Wars HQ thought so when we discussed it in the live stream, and unfortunately I think we might have been right when we did so. I know I made a video saying that it was confirmed a few months back, but I was proven wrong because the pistol shown in the trailer was actually one of the blaster pistols used by a few troops in the old games. However, I hope that I will be wrong on this specific topic, because I really hope that we will get to see some force powers in the new game, but as I told you, I'm just trying to be completely honest in this video and let you know what I think. Instant action is something else that a lot of people want, and that's another thing I just don't think will be in the game. I think they will focus on creating a really epic campaign instead, as that's something that the old games were lacking. It was just normal instant action matches with some extra objectives. I think this is also partly because people who has never played Star Wars Battlefront would probably prefer an actual campaign with bots and a cool storyline over just plain matches at the same spot over and over with bots. I mean, if the campaign contains battles like Hoth, then it is in some way like instant action, but in my opinion actually better. Another big topic is space battles. This is something I'm honestly very unsure about, and I don't know what I think. I know there has been a lot of talk going on about space to ground combat, and I'm quite sure that DICE have the power and resources to implement this, and I know that if they do, it will be really freaking epic. How they're going to make a smooth transition from space to ground is another question, but I'm quite sure that it will be in the game somehow. They have already showed that snow speeders will be in the game, so making ships that would work in space isn't really a whole lot different than that, because in the old games the controls are pretty much identical between the ships used on the ground and in space. Finally, I'd just like to mention the whole third person discussion that some people are really fixated with, saying that no third person equals no Battlefront. Ultimately, I think that being able to switch between third and first person with one click is what most people want, and implementing this is something that is no problem at all for DICE, as the vehicles already are in third person in Battlefield, and you can just switch between third and first person with one click. And I even think that there are some mods or servers where you can play in third person, where you play as an infantry soldier and not just a vehicle. However, I think the important part here is balancing. That's all it comes down to when DICE decides to implement this or not. There's a reason to why vehicles are only in first person in hardcore in Battlefield 4, while you can switch between first and third person in the normal mode. It's because it's more realistic with first person and also a lot harder. However, for Battlefront I would be happy with first person for infantry, as I think it makes sense when using guns. But if they do implement heroes and villains, I damn sure hope they are in third person, as that would be a lot more fun and a lot easier to control the force powers and lightsabers. Well, I think that wraps up the main topics I wanted to talk about. I hope you don't get me wrong and that I'm thinking the game will be bad, because I really don't. I think the core gameplay will be absolutely amazing, and that alone is the most important feature. The point of this video is just that I wanted people to realize that they can't have their expectations too high in terms of features from the old games being in the new game. There is a reason to why they call it Star Wars Battlefront and not Star Wars Battlefront 3. However, I could be completely wrong. Maybe all of the things I've mentioned in this video will actually be in the game. I mean, it's not impossible, even though I don't really think so. Anyways guys, thank you for watching. Please let me know what your thoughts are and what you honestly think will be in the game. I will see you all soon again, and as always, may the Force be with you.